Hello, Jayborino here. Welcome back. Playing another Maporino 2018 submission. This is for StarCraft Remastered, sent to us by Nekron. It is Omega. So Nekron has been sprucing up vanilla campaign levels. So obviously this is Omega from the base game. Now Deltron has played this and he just let me know some info. Not much. He said, you can skip the briefing because it's the same from the base game. And he said, also just be really aggressive. And he told me he wasn't able to beat this. I said, don't tell me anymore. I don't want to know. But really my takeaway was we could skip the briefing, and we want to be real aggressive at the beginning because this is quite challenging. Again, Nekron has created other maps like this and has added a bunch of custom AI to make them very challenging. Here we go. Okay, we can skip this. Destroy all enemy forces. It's Omega from the base game. Let's get started. I have not played StarCraft 1 for a while, except what is in this contest. So let's see what happens. So I noticed right away that the map is revealed, and they're really... I'm just going to like send units down here. Let's see what happens. Again, because I'm going to take Deltron's advice and just go ahead and be quite aggressive. So let's just go ahead and make some drones, and then I am going to come down here and take one of these bases. This is pretty far away from the other AI, and if we could take out the Protoss like right away, then obviously we'll have a huge advantage. But we start with like all of our tech, which is crazy good, right? So let's just grab Metabolic Boost early. And I don't think we really need... I'll just go ahead and like make some extra Hydralisks. And let's see if we could like somehow... Oh, okay, they're a Dark Templar. Unfortunately. The question is... Okay, there are a lot of Dark Templar. Okay, so there are pre-placed units to stop you from doing this, essentially. So we can't do that unless we got fast Overlord movement. I also notice transporting for Overlords, Overlord start raid, faster movement, and then faster burrowed regen. That's quite interesting. And just because of what just happened, we may just want to restart. Obviously, this base over here looks pretty reasonable to go and take. It's very tempting still to try to take out Protoss early, but we have to kill those Dark Templar. Now, obviously, we could move over and go for a different one. I think Hydralisk speed to allow us to go over and attack like red or white would be really good, because it just depends on what's in the enemy bases, really. It's kind of hard to know what's going to be en route. And we want to try to take some bases early. So red is sending vultures out towards us already. I'm less concerned about vultures. Also, the areas leading into our bases are a little different. Alpha Squadron move out. What does that mean? I guess I'm just going to use this as sort of a lead into what we can expect from this, right? So, okay, there are some random ghosts. They're building a lot of barracks. We're sending these units up. I'm not sure if this is Alpha Squad or... I feel like I've been building Overlords for a really long time here. And basically, my goal is to just try to flood this map with units as fast as possible. So while I did throw away some units against blue, because I didn't realize that there would be... Dark Templar. So there are pre-placed units. So the question is, what do the other factions start with? It seemed like red starts with some vultures, right? And then we heard Alpha Squadron move out, whatever that really means. So can we just kill these ghosts, please? And just don't allow white. It looks like white starts with pre-placed ghosts. Red starts with pre-placed vultures, probably. And then blue starts with pre-placed... Dark Templar, which is unfortunate. If I could have held back those Dark Templar, I would have been in really good shape. So let's just add this catchery to our hotkey group. I don't know what that's about. Getting lurkers would also be really helpful. Let's see if we can get up here and try to take out UED. I think we're probably a little too slow again. We would have needed to have sent units up like as soon as possible, which is clearly too late now. These pre-placed sunken colonies obviously really useful. The sooner we can get lurkers out, the better, but we're going to struggle to afford those right now. I guess we'll move into white and see if we can hit him with some some Hydralisks here, and let's keep some of these units at home because we're going to need to try to push back enemies. I can get an early Defiler for Dark Swarm. Doesn't seem like a bad idea. We can barely afford it. We could also get a fast Ultralisk. Let's just go ahead and make some Zerglings and Hydralisks because we know we can afford it. And it looks like we're pushing in on white right away. All right, so let's just send a few of these units up here. My Hydralisks have energy. I don't know what that could be about. Looks like white's going down pretty quick. I don't know what the whole Alpha Squadron move out thing is. We could try to go for red very quick. Also, the issue was the cloaking. We're going to need to get Overlord movement so that there may be wraiths in these bases quickly also. I don't know. I just don't know what to expect. Let's head on down here. And again, I'm taking Deltron's advice. If I hadn't been so severely supply blocked already, probably would be in decent shape. Let's back up here. Back up here. Try to get a couple lurkers. Still can't get them quite yet. Man, look how much white is built up in this time. Pretty wild. Okay, let's back up a little bit. Arbiters, okay. I think I wasted time at the beginning because of that valiant but futile attempt on blue. Okay, let's grab missile attacks.
Welcome to my lair.
I don't understand what these other people talking are. No idea. Okay, we're gonna get at least one lurker, and then we're gonna start sending groups into red. White appears to be gone, but they may have already. They might have already expanded. I don't know. I'd have to go and look. So just leave that bunker, and then these units. I'm just going to assume that red is dead. All right, there's spider mines already, and we lost most of our units that were attacking. That's a lot of vultures. Okay, so now I think this base is being mostly left alone, so we got to try to finish saturating this. We need a lot of gas. And we're getting hit from all sides. All right, so red is pretty much already set up. Okay, they think they probably scanned me there to take out that stuff. So I'm thinking this will lead to a reset. But I would almost view the beginning of this as almost like a little puzzle to figure out. In the sense of like, okay, so which direction do you realistically need to go first? I like how they're just random enemies that appear to be taunting us every so often. It's unclear to me who they are. Like, there's a guy called Julian and Vasily.
I am prepared to offer terms of
Our forces are under attack.
So we did take out an entire person right at the beginning, but I don't think that the UED is who that should be. I think we would want to take out red instead. But we're going to need so much gas. We can also start taking expansions across the top of the map because we know that they're open for us because Dougal is gone. Okay. So, on the plus side, I'm pretty good at just, you know, letting whatever happens happen as Zerg, in the sense that I just hotkey my hatcheries, I rally them to a location, I just spam out as many units as possible. So let's just try to keep that up for now. We're going to need adrenal glands for sure. And I have to remember to saturate my second bases again. I think this second gas is going to be so crucial. Okay, we've lost our areas near these edges, unfortunately. Fast Defiler is certainly very tempting. Obviously, we're not making any progress right now, which is a problem. I'm trying to spend my money quickly, but not fast enough. Here come Wraiths. Can they cloak already? Yes, so they can already cloak. I'm trying to imagine if we could have made just a tiny bit extra progress at the beginning of this, we would have been in really good shape. But unfortunately, we got supply blocked early. Just sort of getting flustered by trying to push into the Protoss base. That would have been so good if we could have gotten rid of Protoss instead, because, well, they haven't really given us that much problem. But, I don't know. I'm not sure how this would have gone. Let's see if we can get on top of this tank. Okay, they're bringing some extra units as well. Come on, keyboard. I need you actually responding here. So red actually moved across the map. There's also...
Encampment fully operational. Commence excavating.
Okay.
Zerg
Again, I kind of want to use this as like an experimental run through right now. So let's like just randomly run into red and see what happens. But there's clearly teal Terran now. And also red just decided to attack us in these other random locations. So expanding is going to be challenging.
Is the day we avenge General Duke.
All right. So I kind of want to use the vision sheet just to see who's on the map, because clearly it seems like there are other factions that have just arrived that just kind of get free bases that they get to set up. So let's see. Yeah, now look at this.
The hive cluster is under attack.
There's an entire infested Terran base that gets set up, but it's kind of unclear to me which, I don't know who that is, but then there's also yellow. So multiple bases, extra bases get set up. So I came down here originally because I thought if we could kill blue, we'd be in good shape. I think if we kill white, we have to take his base, but then obviously teal also tries to get set up. The question is, does teal spawn with a shit ton of stuff, or can you kind of stop them from getting set up? So obviously right at the beginning, you want to try to take out somebody. Red is very tempting, but they've got this stuff on the high ground, so I don't think we'd be able to. So I think white is still the proper option, and then also try to keep a handle on not letting teal get set up proper. Then you can take this whole upper right side of the base and you theoretically be left alone. So I think it's just all about getting a good start. I don't think this is a map where you just, if you macro hard enough, you can do it. I think it's more just you have to perform really well right at the beginning in just the right way. So let's try again and see if we can have a better start and not throw our early units away to Dark Templar. Now, the temptation is still there for me to go and kill blue if we get... No, I just don't think that's the right... I just don't think that's the right choice. I'm going to grab Hydralisk movement speed as soon as possible. And then we're just going to send Zerglings and Hydralisks up to go and kill Dougal. So I'm going to send these Hydralisks up here. And then we'll follow up with Zerglings later. And let's grab Hydralisk speed. And I guess we'll bring these guys up too, but we know that they're ghosts, so those are challenging enough. And then I'm going to go up and take this base first. Again, I think like, obviously this is mechanically challenging, and I'm out of practice with this game, nor have I ever really been a particularly fast player mechanically in the original StarCraft, so I may just not be able to beat this. But again, I also think that there's... If you do things in exactly the right order, you probably would be okay. I think that is the case. Let's also not get supply blocked early this time. How does that sound? Okay, fast melee attacks. Can't quite afford. Let's bring these Hydralisks up to just start attacking. Let's wipe this stuff out. And then, yeah, metabolic boost also. So let's just rally everything up to this white base. Try to wipe out Dougal very, very fast. And then I'm going to station some units in the corners, because it really just depends on where teal actually lands. So while I openly may not be able to beat this for this competition, at the very least, again, maybe it's sort of like a trial and error, where we can see, like, okay, well, where is teal's actual landing spot? I think that means they're coming to attack us, but I'm honestly not sure. It may mean that there's another group that's coming and attacking us. See, so that's just like some vultures attacking us. Fine, you know? Lurker is going to be very important. Let's get these units in here. Okay, and that should be it for Dougal. Okay, and then we'll just make some Zerglings to protect us at home. And we're just going to need to continue to saturate these bases. Now, again, the follow-up to this is, like, take a couple Hydralisks and sit down here. and then we'll take this base as soon as possible. So, and then like you Zerglings move up here, because this is where Teal is, and if we can basically remove AI as they come in, that's going to be just crucial. Oh, so this is actually separated from everything. I'd have to make air units to get up there. And maybe that's why... Maybe that's the challenge we're going to see. Did I get lurkers? Our lurker aspect is on the way.
Payback.
See, who is Julian? Who are these people? I don't know. Let's grab melee attacks, and then we have to try to get this set up. And then just get waves of drones. Really just deciding when you can afford to get drones. I think this will be for Dugal. Yeah, see, there's Teal.
I am prepared to offer terms of surrender. It is my wish that you allow my men to live.
You're not in a position to offer me anything, Admiral. And I don't take prisoners. I'll tell you what. Turn your remaining ships around and start heading back towards
okay.
I'll even let you have a head start.
Again, there's that weird infested Terran group also, and it's sort of just deciding...
See how far you can get.
Sort of deciding what we could do about that. There we go. Also, still not sure why my Hydralisks have, Yeah, see, they come in with battle cruisers, so you can't really cheese them, I don't think, unless they already managed to build battle cruisers. But they come in with 2 battle cruisers, so you think you can be clever, but you can't really, unless you maybe make some Scourge and you let them sit there. Again, that's why it's like, it's about information and almost treating it like a puzzle. So, like, we do start with a Spire. I could go ahead and make Scourge and run them up there. Obviously, that's quite expensive. Is there a reason we're attacking supply depots instead of the battle cruiser? Hard to say.
Our forces are under attack.
But obviously, we want to keep Teal from doing anything. And then here comes Blue. This is cool, though. I mean, I think he's been working on a lot of maps like this. So I'm going to come up and take this. We can set up 2 hatcheries up there. And then we just have to spam out units. I don't think I quite have enough.
Well, welcome to my lair.
He's my favorite. Whoever that is my favorite. And then it seems like, yeah, the Protoss come in. So it's balanced in the sense that at the beginning the enemies have no bases. But on the other hand, they just get a bunch of bases for free with a bunch of powerful units to boot. Okay, that's going to help a lot. So I think I'm spending too much time just on this one faction. For sure. And then we just keep spamming units out. I'm just going to rally up here instead. You're going to be 8. Now, I don't have any lurkers ready for this. Actually, cancel these. We're too far up. We're just going to have to do kind of a fighting retreat here. Let's grab some lurkers, and those Marines will melt, and then we just need to send more Zerglings and Hydralisks up to wipe out this base. So that may remove Teal. It's kind of hard to say. We don't need to rally here anymore, so just rally back at home. I think I've been supply blocked more than anything else.
Worthy my wrath, then you quit your own shadow.
With all the money in the world, why couldn't we stop our world from ending?
Okay, so that's Julian, I guess. The next set, I think we want to make Mutalisks. God, again, I've been supply blocked more than anything, which is a huge problem. I've gotten several bases set up. I'm deciding how many attempts I want to put in, because this probably isn't a winning attempt either, because it's sort of like, now that we know that battle cruisers spawn up here, clearly we would want to just keep Scourge posted there, right? And then we would be in better shape, so I think it's all about, like, how fast you can have these, like, have bases set up. So we know that the other side of the map is still set up, which is why I'm making Mutalisks, because we want to go and wipe out this next. It's sort of like you have to keep up with these random enemies as they come in. I think I'm just repeating myself now, but it's clearly like that's the way it is. That's just the way it is. Okay, let's get a couple lurkers here. And we have what seems to be a brief respite. What I really need to do are upgrades now. And I think I just need random spore colonies everywhere. This is going, you know, obviously way better than my first attempt, so I guess that's something. I'll be happy to, if I can even make a tiny bit of progress every time. Okay, I heard lurkers finish. We want to just get this all set up.
Today is the day we avenge General Duke.
So, I don't know who that is. I mean, I don't know who anybody is on this map. I mean, clearly, I think he set up some of his own type of cannon here, but I don't really know what the situation is. So, like, he's got these other random characters. We'll never really know who they are, unless you play through all this other stuff. On the plus side, we killed one of them already. That's good, right? And then we just make Mutalisks. Okay, and I set up some extra colonies here, but they didn't finish in time. And it's seemingly randomized where they decide to hit you. So it's almost just like a little luck dependent on like, okay, well, I set up this expansion and, oh, they happen to send a bunch of wraiths this way. It may be like, oh, well, they happen to show up really close to where my buildings are. Maybe not. I don't know. So we just make some Hydralisks here. And again, you just hold on for dear life and until you can get enough upgrades to have parity with the enemy, but we've been pretty stagnant for a while. It's pretty thrilling, though. Ah, he doesn't have cloak. Haha! See, this is a different Protoss group. So it's like always something new. I think that's a lot of wraiths. I think maybe if we weren't getting supply blocked as aggressively as I've allowed myself to be, we'd be in much better shape. Let's send groups up here, and then you all help clean up the Dominion. Obviously, we want something like Chitinous. Defiler's probably been a much better choice.
Our forces are under attack.
And I think we need more hatcheries just in the middle of the area. I think it's also about, you know, taking expansions where you can. Like this upper right area is clearly very safe. It feels like the Dominion is way, way more aggressive than every other faction. Like by a mile. Is that just me? That's just the impression that I get right now. Maybe it's just because I'm going through this cycle where it seems like they're just like, here's a bunch of wraiths, you know? Maybe that's just, like, that's the part in the script where we are, and then next we'll see a lot more, of other stuff. I don't know. It could definitely vary. Darkwind Howls. How did you choose these voice lines, Nekron? They're very funny to me. Okay. Like, now we're just completely on the back foot. I think when you lose the ability to be aggressive, that's pretty much it. Yeah, see, now it's like, okay, now we're in the scout cycle of the script. It's really all about maybe staying on the front foot. If we could have gotten this saturated earlier and kept this fortified. Like, if we would have had, like, 4 spore colonies just kind of set up, clearly this would have been able to hold out against those wraiths. We wouldn't have lost a bunch of Hydralisks. So it's really about not only setting up expansions, but ensuring that you don't get killed really fast.
The hive cluster is under attack.
Let's see. But again, we're still alive. I mean, we're not fully dead, so like why not, you know, give it a go? Why not give it a bit of a go, see how well we can do? We're gonna build from scratch. This is like we floated to the island, right? Okay, so we need just good old Hydralisks, right? We just don't have enough money. I mean, I'm spending my money as I get it, so, you know, if I were able to click faster... If I were able to click faster, then maybe I'd be able to get these bases set up and saturated a little bit quicker. Obviously, I'm unable to do that. Okay, apparently I made Scourge. I don't recall doing that, but sure. Yeah, just having like lurkers at all the areas set up. Like, this is good. Oh, I saw this flashing. I thought they had destroyed it. No, not the Reavers. No. Well, all these. I'm sorry, Hydra. I'm sorry, Hydralisks. You did so well for me. I was not prepared for the Reavers. Oh, we forced them to warp out. They're cowards. Coward Reavers. See, this is one where I feel like if I put in enough attempts and, like, again, really learned, like, okay, every time an AI spawns, it spawns with X type of pre-placed unit. And knowing what those are would just vastly, you know, okay. See, now there's brown Protoss and there's this teal. I don't think this teal is the same as the teal that was up here. I think it's different. So now, again, I'm just curious again, because we've gotten a few more notifications. Yeah, so, like, this faction, I think, is different than the faction that was up here. Yeah, see, because this is, like, teal proper, and then this is some weird light blue. I don't know what. It's a different color, though. And then there's this brown, like being able to stop this brown group from getting set up. And then yellow, like, you can easily get to all of these areas and just keep units there. So it's really interesting what order they're landing in and what initial units they start with. Like, this group had 2 pre-placed battle cruisers. It's supposed to stop you from cheesing. But with the proper map knowledge, you very easily could cheese every single one of these factions. And if it's just you versus red and blue, I would argue no problem. It's just, like, obviously, these bases get set up pretty quick. So it's, again, I would argue it's really more about map knowledge. Clearly, like, this attempt is pretty much over. I think we put forward a valiant attempt. But yeah, I think this is pretty fascinating. I mean, I don't understand who these other factions are, so maybe Nekron in the comments can provide some context. But, like, I don't think it's necessary to know in order to enjoy this map and enjoy the challenge of it. But, like, for a player like me, again, who, like, I'm not out to be really a mechanically. I'm not like a mechanical expert at this game, and my APM's gonna hover in like the 60 range. Well, maybe not now because I'm sitting here doing nothing, but I think it's gonna be a lot more challenging for someone like me to be able to play this and react. But with enough map knowledge and retrying, you could figure it out, which I think is cool. Like, I find that something like this is accessible to everybody. But obviously, for someone at my level, it's more about trying, failing, and kind of taking in the knowledge necessary. Because I think, in a way, the same thing happens every time. I think there's definitely some randomness, but there's some things that will happen every time. Like, this guy comes in and he's got 1 or 2 battlecruisers. So you make a couple Scourge, you just plant them here. The battlecruisers die instantly. You flood in with like 6 to 12 Zerglings. Boom. 1 AI completely gone. You have the entire top map to yourself. If you're able to do that flawlessly, you might be able to get like 2 to 3 Guardians out, and who knows what the initial starting units for this weird blue color is. But you get a couple Guardians that can float up over this ledge, boom, this faction gone. Entire upper right and left of the map is yours. Obviously, you know, you could do the same with brown and yellow. Not very much here, but you just have to camp the right type of composition of units there, and you can essentially cheese them into forfeiting. So I will accept defeat and allow them to destroy my buildings. For Nekron has indeed earned that. I assume some pretty complex AI scripts happening to have these. You know, like when it starts and the map is revealed, these bases have nothing. So clearly they're building all of this from scratch. And they don't appear to be broken. They continue to build. So excellent work. And then this is our last hatchery, and that should be defeat. Or do they have to go and kill my refinery in the upper, or my extractor in the upper right? Nope, that was it. You failed to achieve victory. Nice. I think the addition of the extra factions, it's a surprise for sure. You need to work around that, because you're able. The map starts. You're like, wow, these guys have nothing. I can definitely take one out no matter what type, like how fast they're going. This isn't gonna be a problem at all. You know, at least then it'll be 2v1. But then, like, you hear these random people like, we're gonna get you meanies, and then suddenly there's Yellow Terran, and they're coming in with a bunch of wraiths. It's pretty interesting, and I like the twist on the existing maps. Well, I assume maps on this map. I like it's a twist. It's not just what you expected is what you get. So that's cool. That's exactly what you would want from a remix, essentially. Anyway, great job, Nekron. Maybe I'll try some of your earlier maps to see if I can take some of those on in my free time and work my way up to Omega and learn where there's different AIs spawn in. But cool. That's gonna be it for this Maporino submission. I'll see you next week for our third week's round. All right, bye everybody. Have a good one.